Welcome back to the ABC of EDC with me, Rick Flat, your host through everything everyday carry. We're looking at another watch. We'll be doing a little series on high street heroes. So here's the situation. It's Saturday morning. You're going over to your folks. Suddenly you remember, oh my gosh, it's my dad's birthday, or it's the father-in-law's birthday, or my nephew's birthday. Who knows? And you suddenly need to go out and buy something. You think, I'll buy him a watch. If you were a crazy person out still physically in the world interacting with actual humans instead of staying at home in some sort of AI-induced bubble, what would you find in shops? We'll be looking at different brands. We look at Citizen. We've looked at, what else have we looked at? We looked at a Rotary. We're going to look at an Invicta after this video. And today we're looking at Sekonda. Now, Sekonda, I don't know too much about this brand. All I know is they've pretty much been around all my life. I'm sure I bought my actual dad a Sekonda at some point. And I just went online, actually, even though this is the High Street series. I jumped on Amazon and I thought, what sort of watch is a Sekonda doing? And I got their basic plus. I imagine maybe all of Sekonda's watches are basic. But this is their kind of dive watch. Now, this was around £40. It was around £40, this thing. So, yeah, it's well at the cheap end. And I thought, it looks all right. And when I opened up the box and sort of looked at it without touching it, I thought it's all right. So let's do basic specifications first. 1 second. Let me get my grippy grips. Talk amongst yourselves. Where are they? Do you know, sometimes it's only when you need something, it disappears, doesn't it? It disappears. Anyway, we're back. Here we are. We found it. Let's do some basic kind of dimensions on this thing first. What are we talking about here? So diameter. Oh my gosh, it's giving me a 44. That don't seem right. That don't seem like a 44. Let's measure just bezel to bezel. I think that's maybe me mismeasuring. Oh no, it's 42 at the bezel. So yeah, on the case to case, it's at 44, which is pretty serious. Let's look at the. It's about 11.4 thick. The bracelet comes out. It's coming out of the lugs at 21.5. So let's actually try and get it on. It's very awkward because the lugs are very cheap. You know. Oh my gosh, we're looking at here. I think it's 22, so we're coming at 22. What's the lug to lug on this bad boy? Let's have a quick butchers. Come on, son, get in there. So lug to lug of 51. So some very sort of curious dimensions on this thing. Let's just chuck it on wrist, see what it's actually like before we talk about what it's actually like to feel actually in person. Clasp, there's no kind of safety clasp here. It is signed a little bit, but actually it's as cheap as chips. Pressed clasp there. As expected, we've got hollow end links there. On wrist, it's very light. Feels very flimsy, but it's not terrible. I think you've got to bear in mind the price here. The price, 40 quid. What are you actually getting here? I think for 40 quid, you're getting a watch that from afar, you know, it looks all right, you know. Sekonda, it don't look bad. It's not the ugliest watch I've ever seen. In fact, I'll put some B-roll and try and sex it up a little bit, but you know. So what have we got? We've got markers at the 12, 6 and 9. We've got a white surrounded date window that isn't colour matched to the dial. Very clean dial, just Sekonda, and tells you that it's good for 50 metres water resistance. No sign crown. What's the size of the crown actually? Let's look at the size of the crown. Size of the crown. That's not right. Come on. Size of the crown. Something's off here. Here we go. Got a 0 of this. Something went wrong. Here we go. Size of the crown 5.9. So quite a small crown. But like I say, just a push crown. Nothing special. Now, I thought, well, maybe this will be redeemed by the bezel action. So I grabbed it. And I realised, oh, there is no bezel action. The bezel is fused like your granddad's back. Just gone. Just nothing there, man. So hopefully, looking at it, alignment's good. But I guess that's quite easy. It's got this kind of polished centre section here, then a brushed clasp, brushed outer edges. It is push pin. Like I say, very cheap clasp. Sekonda, man, what we're going to say, because we won't be here too long. This ain't a great watch, let's face it. What am I saying? If you had 40 quid burning a hole in your pocket and, you know, Grandpa Joe needs a watch, you could do worse. But if anyone has any semblance of wanting a watch that feels like it's got a bit more about it, this ain't the one. It don't weigh a lot. It's quite flimsy. Let me get the light up. It's quite kind of clackety in your hand. Yeah, man. Sekonda, High Street Hero. Nah, bruv. I mean, maybe I've done them wrong, done them dirty by getting the cheapest one. I don't know. I can't even work out which end it is. You know, very, very plain, sterile back there. Is it even a good first watch? No. I mean, I'd put another 10, 15 quid in and I'd go for a Casio, to be honest with you. Anyway, that's been it. High Street Hero, in and out. Don't want to be too long. Don't want to mess around and waste too much of my precious life on a watch like this. Till next time, laters.